All right, we are back in Studio K, and I am joined by Müllet.
Hello.
Before we get started, could I get a name and instrument introduction from everyone?
For sure. My name is Mark. I just sing. This is Bobby. He plays guitar. Michael also plays guitar. Jared plays the drums.
Amazing. We just heard Hotel Hotline, Diva, Going Blind, and 666, of course.
That is correct.
So, your most, well, in the past couple of years, you've released a couple singles, but your most recent album release was almost 2 years ago in January. And so I was wondering, since it's been a couple years since then, do you have any visions for another album in the future? Have you been working on that, or have you just kind of been doing what you can in terms of putting out a larger piece of music?
Yeah, a little bit of both, I think. We're working on new stuff. We have it's hard because we finish a song where you just want to release it, so we've been releasing singles.
Yeah.
But we do have a bunch of new songs that are a little bit more like B-52s inspired, a little more dancey. And we'll see. We'll just see what happens. We might put out another record.
Yeah.
We might break up. You never know.
It's true. Take it one day at a time.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
So like you just said, you feel like they're a little dancier than things you've put out in the past, but how do you feel like your sound has kind of progressed since the release of that last album? Obviously 2 years is kind of a long time for things to happen in terms of sonic development.
Yeah, well, we got Michael here. He joined the band about a year ago, and he's really good at guitar. So more guitar, more outside opinion, I guess.
Yeah.
The first record was just me, like, cranking stuff out. And now we have Michael and Bobby who are, like, they play really well together. So
Yeah.
I think more guitars, more, like, dancey, more B-52s inspired.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Amazing. And the video for your most recent single, I saw was shot on Super 8, which I thought was fun because we had the Super 8 camera in here today as well.
Yes.
So was there anything specifically that drew you to using Super 8 for the video, or was it just because you were like, I think it would be fun to use Super 8?
Yeah, I've always wanted to use one for years, and finally I just took the dive and bought a Super 8 camera.
Yeah.
And I just love film. I think film looks better. I think like the best digital photo looks worse than the worst film photo, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I just love film.
for
I
sure.
think film, especially with recording too, it just sounds great.
Yeah.
It has this quality that like can't be replicated. And we shot, I think, like 3 rolls of film for that music video, and almost all the footage just turned out. And it's not like we planned anything really for the video. It just all came together and looked great because it's on film.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I kind of want to do just only film for this band at least.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be
It
awesome.
just looks so good.
Yeah. I know. I love film as well, but Super 8 specifically, I feel like has that super tangible quality that I think is so fun.
Yeah, we were talking about it afterwards. We were watching the footage and we were like, man, it looks like we're having so much fun, but at the time we weren't like feeling that great or having that much fun. But when you look back on it, you're like, wow, we're all like best friends.
Yeah.
That's a great time.
It just it makes everything look better in hindsight.
Yeah. It's got kind of that like fuzzy, nostalgic quality for sure. Yeah.
But then maybe for the next one too, there's like a place you can rent a 16mm camera, and I kind of want to try shooting on that too.
Yeah, that would be so cool. If you had to describe the band's sound using 3 colors, what would said colors be?
Okay. Black, orange, and hot pink. Which all 3 together looks kind of gross, maybe.
Maybe, definitely pink.
I'm going to stick with what I said.
Yeah, yeah.
Nope.
No, we're sticking with the originals.
Is silver even a color?
It's silver a word? It's a reflection, I guess.
It's shiny. Yeah. Black, orange, hot pink.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I feel like it works for sure.
All right. We're going to go with that.
And, moving a little bit more into the sound, I suppose. How does the songwriting process tend to go now? Like you said, that first album, you just kind of cranked everything out yourself, but is it usually like you bringing lyrics ideas forward and being like, I have this idea and here's kind of how I'd like it to sound? Or are there days where it's a little bit more spontaneous and you're just jamming out?
Well, I guess like the reason I wanted to start this band is because I've been in bands in the past where you kind of anally go over like all these details and kind of like you have this super specific idea, you labor over mixing and mastering, and this one I just wanted it to be spontaneous and kind of, I think we recorded and released the record within like 3 months or something really quick. And I kind of want to keep that ethos there, just not worry too much.
He writes, like Mark writes everything for the most part.
Yeah, so I don't really bring a song to the band and ask for input, but I want to more because I have the best players in Minneapolis. Yeah.
Whether or not you ask for it.
Yeah. So more input from the others will be needed next time, but usually I just write everything myself.
Yeah, for sure.
We need help with the first album song now.
Jared did play drums on the first record. It's true.
Cool.
And mixing.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, and how did that original lineup come to be? Obviously, you added a guitar player afterwards, but what's kind of the origin story?
I think I just finished playing a show with one of my old bands, and then I met Bobby outside of Ice House, and I could just tell that he was a good guitar player without even hearing it. I just looked at him, and I was like, I love you, and I want to play music with you. And I was like, we want to start a band, and he was down, and it turns out he's a really good guitar player. And then Jared, I've been playing in bands with forever.
Like 12 years more?
Maybe more.
No, 12 years at 2012.
He's been keeping track.
That's when I quit my, started quitting my job and stuff.
Yeah. So that's like the origin story. I met Bobby. I just knew from the way there was like the stars were aligned. I saw his face. He saw my face. And the rest is history.
It was fate.
And now it's been a match made in heaven. I love Bobby.
Well, wonderful.
Michael, the restaurant industry.
Yeah, Michael and I used to work together. And he was like, hey, can I be in your band? And I was like, yeah. And that was pretty much it. Yeah. Pretty easy.
Yeah. And did you, like you said, you wanted the band to be something that was just like a little more fun. Did you have those conscious influences or choices that you made that you were like, this is the direction I want this to go in?
Yeah, it was definitely conscious.
Okay.
Because I feel like when you start a band and you're like just stressed out all the time about how it sounds, how your social media looks, how you, I don't know, appear on stage, it kind of just hinders the natural flow of it. And when you kind of try and think about that less, it just becomes more fun. And I think our shows are more fun because of that. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have any input on that.
We're the best band in the city right now.
We're the best band in the city.
That's all I got.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, yeah, we are playing a show tonight at Mortimer's.
Yeah, sweet.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
Who
Cool.
else is on the bill?
The Envies for their single release, and Kansas Plates, which is a lovely band. 2 really good bands tonight.
Cool.
Yeah, 'cause we suck.
Yeah, wait, 3 really good bands. Yeah.
So, speaking of shows that you're playing, what have been some of the highlights of your time together or favorite shows that you've played that have been especially memorable for you?
Yeah, I think we played the show in Eau Claire at this old Masonic temple with Gash. It was either called Rash Fest or Gash Fest. That show was great. Cool venue. Oyster World played. A bunch of really fun bands. And then Rochester was really fun.
That one Palmer's one that was like kind of jazz.
Yeah, we played a show at Palmer's, and there was like no mic stands or something, so Bobby and I had to share a microphone. And I think we were all just in a weird mood, and we turned up way too loud, I think. But it ended up being super fun.
My favorite was the American Cream Shrimp Olympics. Mortimer.
Oh, yeah, we played a show at Mort's with Shrimp Olympics and American Cream, and those 2 bands are, I think, my top 2 favorite bands in Minneapolis.
And it
Yeah.
was just so packed.
It was packed.
It was so good.
And True Lust. I'll say number 3 is True Lust. But yeah, American Cream, shout out them. Shrimp Olympics, much love. So good. That was probably my favorite show. Yeah.
Yeah, it was super fun. Super sick.
Yeah, and you've kind of, in that answer already mentioned some other local bands that you enjoy, but I always like asking people kind of what feels special to them about the Minneapolis music scene and how that community, you feel like, kind of fosters, a fun place to explore music.
I might be the wrong person to ask about this. I like some Minneapolis bands, but I'm not in love with. I think we can do better as a city. I will say that. But if I'm like listening to music on Spotify or whatever, there's not very many Minneapolis bands I listen to. But got to be happy with what you got, and I love. There's some bands that I really, really love, and I think the future is bright. I'll say that. Unless you guys have anything to say.
I don't like music.
Jared doesn't like music.
There's a lot of cool stuff happening. There's a lot of cool music going on right now.
This is Bobby talking now, by the way.
Yeah, I think the kids are all right. That's my final word on the topic.
There we go.
Well, sweet. Yeah. Per usual, as we round out the interview, what do you got going on? You talked about the show you got going on tonight, but anything else on the horizons for you?
Gonna try and go on tour next year. Hoping to the East Coast. Just still recording, playing shows. That's the plan.
Amazing.
Not think about it, We don't want to like labor over.
Sure.
Oh, we gotta release 3 singles by January, and yeah, we don't want to. I don't want to think like that. So we're just gonna let it be natural.
Yeah. See where the wind takes you.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thanks so much for coming in. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
chatting.
We
Yeah.
love Radio K so much,
Shout out to my parents, who I love.
Michael.
And my
Yeah. Shout out to Michael's parents, who I love.
Thank you.
Yeah. This has been Müllet here on Off the Record on Radio K, Real College Radio.